Hey, Mr. Cook. So the state did accuse that case, and we do have a case number. I'm not sure why it's not on the calendar, but we are prepared to go forward.
Ian, courtroom two put in the chat that they're putting that case on the add-on.
Receive. Thank you. Mr. Cook, did you get that? Okay. I assume that's a yes.
Yes, I saw. I got it. Thank you.
All right, we'll get ready to start. All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Judge Regina Mincy, and we're going to begin our Fulton County State Court Expedited Accusations calendar. This is a calendar for cases in which individuals have recently been arrested and charged with certain misdemeanor offenses. Soon after their arrest, the Fulton County Solicitor General's office has already accused these cases of the offenses brought against them, and the cases have been bound over to the Fulton County State Court. Nevertheless, this will usually be the defendant's initial appearance before a state court judge, so we are able to address several matters, including bond, possible arraignments, and possible plea offers if one has been made by the state at this juncture. The SAP reset date is May 23rd. And again, that is May 23rd. And I want to also begin by advising everyone that this whole entire proceeding is being recorded as well as live streamed on YouTube. So govern yourselves accordingly. I want to also remind the defendants that you have certain constitutional rights. The first being that you have a right to counsel. You should know who your attorney is by now. You also have a right to remain silent. Remember that anything that you state about the facts, the circumstances, or the occurrences of your case can and will be held against you at a later date. State is here and they're listening. So follow the lead of your attorneys. All right, who do we have first?
Position number 4, Ms. Janae Chambers. Hello.
This is Tayana Janae Chambers, 24 CR 002938D, charged with 1 count of simple assault. Retrial.
4 total. All she got is driving. This is level 1.
Thank you. State.
Good afternoon, Judge. This incident occurred on May 9th, 2024. Officers responded to a fight call at 3060 Delmar Lane. Upon arrival, they met with the victim, Miss Brianna Dorsey, who stated that her girlfriend, whom she resides with, the defendant, threw objects at her and swung an umbrella at her, trying to hit her. She also stated that the defendant threatened her life, and the police were able to see video footage of the incident. Notably, the victim stated this was not their first altercation, that she had a bruised eye from an earlier incident in which she did not call the police. Our office has been in touch with the victim, Your Honor. She did confirm the events in the warrant. She stated that there has been some violence between them before. It's not the first time that the defendant's been violent toward her. She said they had an altercation where she had a black eye earlier in May. She said that there was also an incident a few years ago from Cobb County, but no arrests were made. She did say, however, she's not in fear of the defendant and she wants to continue contact. And she is okay with the defendant returning to the residence. Judge, based on the recent violent history between the two, the state's going to recommend a signature bond through pretrial services, no further contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, FVIP, and no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And if we could sound for Miss Brianna Dorsey.
All right, Brianna Dorsey.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, do you wish to address the court today?
Yes, I would like to say a few things.
Hold on a
if I
second,
could.
hold on. Okay, then I need to see, you need to turn on your video, your camera, I need to see you, and then I'll swear you in first.
For some reason, I keep trying to turn on my video and it's not. I'm trying to turn on my video. It says my video has started, but it's
I
not
can
pulling
see
up.
you. You have on a green top, I can see you.
Okay.
All right. Raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right, put your hand down for me. Are you in fear of Ms. Chambers?
No.
Okay, do you want to have any further contact with Ms. Chambers?
No, man, I would like to see if I can do a no violent contact instead of a no contact order. We do business together. We do share a home and she has a daughter. I was told by a victim advocate if it was a no contact order, she wouldn't be able to come back to the home. And her daughter stays here, so I wouldn't want that to happen whatsoever. What I can say, I'm trying to figure out some things for me to leave, but it won't be like exactly right now. I'm not from here, so there's things I have to plan and work out. I will try my best to give space and stay out more to help the situation until I leave because both of our things are here. So I didn't want her to have the official no contact order at all because I wouldn't want her to have to leave the place. Her name is on the lease, and they also told me that it doesn't matter if her name is on the lease at all, and I don't want to do that. So you know what I'm saying? She does have a daughter, and I don't want to do that.
How old is the daughter?
She's 12. And she just came back home actually from her father. So
All right. Any cross-examination questions?
no, ma'am.
No, 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 that was not for you by the state or by the PD.
Nothing from the state judge.
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, you can mute yourself and we'll continue on with the hearing, okay? Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, PD Cook.
Your Honor, they apparently do live together. I'm not sure how long that will continue. At least according to the last witness's testimony. There is a daughter there. We would ask for a no violent contact provision, allow her to go home, and a signature bond at whatever level the court deems appropriate.
Okay.
We would be in opposition to FVIP.
Okay. I'm going to order $2,500 signature bond through pretrial, and that will be level 1. I'm going to order the 2-day anger awareness course free through pretrial. I'm going to order, as far as the victim goes, no further violent contact, so that hopefully she will return home. I normally don't do it this soon to make sure there's been the ample cooling down period, but I'm going to trust that it has been and that they will not do these things in front of this child, hopefully. Also, I'm not going to order the stay away. So hopefully Ms. Chambers can go home and we won't hear of any more incidences. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. That'll be it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we have position number 1 and Tara Judge Andrews.
This is 24 CR 002935C. And Tarja Andrews, charged with 1 count of simple battery, family violence, pretrial.
First, jail is the recommendation.
Okay. State.
Your Honor, this incident occurred April 9th, 2024. Officers responded to 2909 Campbellton Road Southwest, Unit 24A, in reference to a domestic dispute. Upon arrival, officer made contact with the victim, Stefan Manuel. The victim advised that he and the defendant have children together, and he advised the defendant showed up to his apartment on this day unannounced with her boyfriend and demanded a ride to get some errands. And when the victim refused, the defendant slapped him in the face multiple times. The officer did not observe any injuries. Our office has been in touch with the victim judge. He did confirm they're no longer in a relationship. They do not live together. They do have children together. The incident location was his residence, but he no longer lives there. He confirmed the events in the warrant. He said nothing like this has ever happened before. They have been in contact since the incident without any violence, and he's not in fear of the defendant and wants to continue contact. The state's recommendation is a signature bond through pretrial services, a no further violent contact with the victim, FVIP, and no weapons, drugs, or alcohol out on bond. And if we could sound for Stefan Manuel.
All right, Stefan Manuel. Stefan Manuel. All right, he's not there. PD Cook.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 24 years old and has lived in the Atlanta area her whole life. She does have two kids. I believe the alleged victim is the father here. We would be asking for signature bond through the jail. We have no objection to a no further violent contact provision or the no drugs, alcohol, or weapon. We would object to the FVIP.
Okay. Going to order $2,500 signature bond through the jail. And with that signature bond through the jail, no further violent contact with the victim, Stefan Manuel. And was the stay away recommended or not?
Not in this case, Your Honor, because it's my understanding the victim does not live at that location anymore.
All right, so just a no further violent contact, no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. That should be it.
Thank you.
Was the two criminal to children NOD?
Yes.
Okay. You can have some. Next, we can go to position number 2, Mrs. Rhonda Benton.
24 CR 00 excuse me 2936D. Rhonda Benton charged with 1 count of battery. Retrial.
19. 2022 DUI on probation for reckless driving. 2016 battery DV not presented to grand jury. 2013 battery dismissed. 07 battery DV NOLO. This stuff old, so this was level 1.
All right, state.
Your Honor, this incident occurred March 13th, 2024. Officers responded to 3503 Conley Street, Apartment D in College Park in reference to a dispute. Upon arrival, officers spoke with the victim, Lorenzo Davis. Mr. Davis advised that his neighbor, who's the defendant, came over accusing him of kicking her door. Mr. Davis told the defendant that it wasn't him that kicked the door. And when the victim went to stand up to address her, the defendant hit him in the head with her walking cane. And according to the warrant, Your Honor, the victim had a bruise on his head as a result. Our office has not been able to get in touch with the victim at this time. And Your Honor, she does have some older history, but I would like to point out a couple of charges that pretrial didn't mention. There is a 2021 aggravated assault with a deadly weapon arrest that was dismissed in Florida. She had a 2016 battery DV arrest, a 2013 battery arrest, a 2011 battery arrest, a 2007 battery arrest. I cannot see the dispositions of all of them. Some of them were dismissed and some of them are time restrict. And given the history, Judge, I would ask for a $2,500 surety bond, a no further contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, I understand their neighbors, but stay away from the neighbors' house specifically. 12 weeks anger management and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And if we could sound for Lorenzo Davis.
All right. Lorenzo Davis. Lorenzo Davis. All right, go ahead, PD Cook.
Your Honor, my client denies the allegations in the warrant. She's 61. She's lived in the Atlanta area for 50 years. She's disabled and is on disability. She's 5'1". She has lupus, diabetes. She's had seizures in the past. She has a rod in her left leg and some kind of artificial heel or prosthetic on one of her feet. She can't, leave it would be almost impossible for her to leave the apartment complex. We would have no objection to her staying away from his particular apartment. As for the rest of it, 12-week anger management would put a real burden on her. So we would be asking for a signature bond, giving her age and disability and her financial situation. So we'd be asking for a signature bond at whatever level the court deems appropriate. Even reporting to pretrial, though, could be quite a burden with someone with her disabilities. Again, we would object to the 12-week anger management. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to order $2,500 signature bond through the jail. Since this happened back in March, I'm assuming there's been no other incident since that time. But I see she wasn't arrested until yesterday or the 10th, or maybe the 9th rather. With that signature bond through the jail, no further contact with the victim, stay away from the victim's home. I think our orders say to stay 200 feet away. They have no contact with third parties or anybody in between, and just if she sees him coming, go the other way. No further contact and no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And that's all I ordered this time.
Your Honor, so we don't set her up for failure. I suspect their apartments are within 200 feet of each other.
Okay. I guess we can maybe ask Ms. Betton, how close are the doors close, or can she go out a different way or back stairs? How close are the apartments, Ms. Betton?
Directly, if I open up my front door, if he's sitting on the porch, we can shake each other's hands.
Wow.
Our apartments are in one unit. Mine is right here, and his is. As soon as I come out, you go to the left, and it's right next door. And what we have been doing, he and I, we really don't, when there's drinking or he's drinking, we don't have any communication. I'll go over to my neighbors. We're trying to work it out. He's very apologetic, and he's been really good since this incident. He's been really.
Okay. Well, I know this happened back in March, but I hope it continues and you all just avoid each other as much as possible, like you've been doing, so that you get through this case. So, all right, you know, it says 200 feet, but do the best that they can. And hopefully there won't be any, you know, severe violations or anything like that. Okay.
Next, we could go to position number 6, Miss Diamond Cooper.
This is 24 CR 002926F. Diana Cooper, charged with 2 counts of battery, pretrial.
Third arrest, got an open shoplifting and a 2023 obstruction trespass. Jail.
Okay. State.
Thank you, Your Honor. Law enforcement responded to a fight in progress at the MLK Junior Drive Coin Laundry located at 2860 MLK Drive, Atlanta. Upon arrival, the officer came in contact with the victims, Ms. Elisa Huang and Mr. He Huang, who are daughter and father. Ms. Huang explained that a woman, later identified as the defendant, came into the store. She asked the defendant if she could help her, to which the defendant responded that she wanted some money. Ms. Huang thought it was a joke and asked her again, and the defendant again stated that she wanted some money. Ms. Huang refused and the defendant became aggressive. She then proceeded to bite Ms. Huang on her forearm before hitting Mr. Huang in the eye with a can of Red Bull and scratching him. Ms. Huang was able to provide pictures of the defendant, which the officer used to locate the defendant who had gone across the street. She was brought to the incident location where Mr. Huang confirmed that she was the woman who assaulted him and his daughter. Our office has had a chance to speak with the victim, Ms. Alyssa Wong, who stated that her father owns the coin laundry cleaner's business. She confirmed the events in the warrant, stated that she has seen the defendant around the area before, but does not believe she has had any interactions with her in the past. The victim does not want any contact with the defendant and does not want the defendant to return back to the property. The state is recommending a signature bond through pretrial services, no further contact with the victims, Alyssa Huang and He Huang, to stay away from the incident location, the drive coin laundry, a 48-hour anger management, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. At this time, I would like to sound for both victims, Ms. Alyssa Huang and Mr. He Huang.
Hold on. All right, go ahead. Mr. Wong or Miss Wong. Don't think I see anybody on there with that name or anyone. Mr. or Miss Wong. All right, go ahead, PD Atai.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 47 years old. She is a Georgia resident. Your Honor, she is homeless right now. She does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. And as you can see from looking at her right now, her eye is badly injured. She states that the complaining witness, both of them were very violent with her, pushing and shoving her. And when she was on the floor, kicked her in the face, causing the swollen eye, as you can see that she has right now. She has no problem, of course, staying away from there and with no further contact. As pretrial stated, she is recommended for a signature bond through the jail. And I would ask for that signature bond through the jail and object to any further restrictions. She doesn't have a phone. She doesn't have a mode of transportation. Reporting to pretrial would be very difficult for her, and as well as attending anger management.
All right. Let's see. I think I will order $3,000 signature bond, $1,500 on each charge. And that signature bond, I think I'm going to make it through the jail. Gonna order to stay away from the incident location, the MLK laundry. I'm going to order no further contact with the victims, No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And that should
Thank
be
you.
it for now.
Thank you.
Okay.
Next, we will go to position number 12. Miss Tanya. Meisenbach.
Okay. Tanya Meisenbach, 24 CR 002929. G, charge of 1 count of simple battery family violence. Pretrial.
First, and it was jail.
Your Honor, this incident occurred May 9th, 2024. Officers responded to 3520 Mergenser Lane in Alpharetta. The defendant and her husband, Mr. Donald Meisenbach, who is the father of her children, got into an argument, and the argument turned physical when the defendant struck him. Our office has been in touch with the victim. Your Honor, they are married, they live together, and they have grown children who do not live at the residence. He confirmed the events in the warrant. He did state that the victim, the defendant has MH issues and has not been taking her medicine. He said it's not the first time that the defendant's been violent toward him. He said there was an incident in April where the defendant attacked him, but he didn't call the police. They've had 2 other incidents since then. He is in fear for his safety if the defendant does not get help. And he said that the defendant has been getting treatment, and he did file a TPO this morning. He does not want any contact, and he wants her to stay away from the residence until she's able to get help. So our office would recommend a signature bond through pretrial services, a no further contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, MHET, FVIP, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And if we could sound for Donald Meisenbach.
All right, Donald Meisenbach. Donald Meisenbach. All right, go ahead. Whose case is this? PD Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client, Ms. Tunya, she is 51 years old, and she has been here in Georgia for a long, long time. Your Honor, she is currently disabled, and she is on her Social Security income. Your Honor, the only way that she has any kind of means of support is she has her own social media. She promotes people who were burnt in the past, however, overcome that tragic incident, and she's inspiring and motivating other victims as well. And Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Donald. He said that he would like to leave the place so she can return home. So we object to stay away because it is her house, and she's her name is the only one that is in the name, and she has to go back home. That's the only place that she can go to. She has no other place to go to. And we would like to request for, we object to MHET, Your Honor. She is very fine. She just has a lot of trauma, but that doesn't mean that she has to get that done here in the jail. We would like to get a signature on bond through pretrial, and no further contact is totally okay. We have no objection to that. Just she has to get back to the house. Thank you.
Your Honor, that's completely the opposite of what the victim advocate put in our notes here from when she spoke with Mr. Meisenbach earlier today. At that time, he told our victim advocates that he would like her to stay away from the residence.
I just took a note. He is willing to leave the house. That's what he said to me.
And does she have somewhere else to go?
No, she does not have any place to go. And all her work equipment that she has to do for her YouTube channel is all at the house. She has no other place to go, Your Honor.
Okay.
Judge, I see someone on the Zoom, Samsung SM. He's nodding in response to some of the things we're talking about. I'm not sure if this is Mr. Meisenbach. It looks like you may be having trouble unmuting.
Okay. Mr.
There,
Meisenbach?
there we go. Can you hear me?
Yes. Do you wish
Okay.
to, I'm going to ask you a question first. Do you wish to address the court today?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. Thank you for allowing me to.
All right, I'm going to have to swear you in first. Raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
I do.
Okay, put your hand down for me. And remember, this is not your trial. It's just a bond hearing. So I'm not going to debate the facts with you that much, but let me ask you two questions first, and I may not need to hear much else. Are you in fear of Miss Tanya Masonbach?
I'm willing to leave the house so she can be here. I hope that
Okay.
answers the question.
Not
I don't want
really.
to. I'm
It's a
sorry.
yes or no. Are you in fear of her?
Right this second? No.
Okay. And do you want to have any further contact with her?
No.
Okay.
But
All
I'm
right,
willing
and
to
you,
leave.
right, and you stated, how soon can you leave?
I can start packing up now. I want to make sure somebody can bail her out. I can send a housekeeper or a friend or something to get her out. I don't know if she's got plans. Do you have a way of
All
getting
right.
out, Tanya? I'm
Can't
sorry.
talk to her.
I just want to make
So,
sure she's okay. I can go leave. I'll be fine. But she's disabled, um, and she's been through a lot, and she needs to get mental
okay,
health. But I'd rather come home and be gone.
okay.
Please,
Well, that will be the condition if I give her the
thank you,
signature bond, which she can sign her own self. Then I'll do that if you're not going to be there.
thank you.
Your Honor, may
Okay.
I ask one question?
Yes.
Mr. Meisenbach, did you get a TPO this morning?
I did.
And in that TPO order, is there a stay away from your house?
That's correct.
Okay. And at this point, your wife is supposed to stay away from the residence pursuant to that protective order, correct?
I don't have any other way of doing this. I don't. I don't know what else to do. But
Your
I'd
Honor, I
rather
have
her.
not seen the condition of the TPO. I need to review and verify that. I don't.
Right, because it'll be
Sometimes
contradictory to my order, which I don't want my order to be contradictory to that protective order. If she's supposed to stay away, she can be put back in jail for
But Your
violating.
Honor, we've heard testimony from the victim that he secured a TPO and it includes the residence, whether counsel has seen it or not. We have the testimony from the victim, so that alone, I think, would be sufficient to order a stay away.
And
So,
Your
Your
Honor's
Honor,
concern
that
is the
does
same
not.
as mine. I don't want there to be a contradictory order, because if she goes back home and then she says, well, the judge said I was allowed to be there, and then there's the TPO, then we're getting into ag stalking situations. And
Your Honor, but I have to see the evidence. I don't know
No,
exactly
that
whether that
discovery does
is the
not work that
way the
way.
judge was
Discovery does
saying.
not work that way. And to
Mr.
answer the question
Walker,
of the judge,
Mr. Walker,
yes, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Walker, turn on your camera for me, please.
Yes, Your
If
Honor.
you're going to
And
speak, it's okay.
And to answer the question, if the victim is scared or not, it's somewhat
Sounds like
contradictory
he
to say
is.
I'm not scared, but I took out a TPO. That I'll leave that. I'll state the obvious. He's
Yeah.
not
Your
scared.
Honor,
He took out a
sometimes
TPO and
TPO
then
does
leave
not
the residence.
require someone to stay away from their own residence.
Right, but we just,
Well, PD Kim, he just stated that it does. So, I mean, he's
But I
obviously
didn't
read
see
it.
that.
Just to
I'm
be
going to
clear,
go with
it
what
doesn't mean
he's
it doesn't
testified.
exist.
can
Right,
I speak?
right. I'm going to go with what he testified to. And we have to go with the document on the four corners. So go ahead, briefly, Mr. Meisenbach.
Thank you. Like I said, we shouldn't be around each other until she gets treatment, but I'm willing to leave. I'd rather her be comfortable and be at home. She has a health, a dog. She just needs to be home and comfortable. willing to leave until this TPO kicks in a few days or next week. Like,
But we
she
don't want
does,
to set her up for failure, and that's what you would be doing. Because technically, you could go call the police tomorrow and have her arrested if she shows up at that house tomorrow. Hopefully, you wouldn't. But I'm
no,
going
what's,
to order her to stay away because of the fact that you have an order that says she must stay away. So I can't tell her she can go back. You should have told the judge that when you were getting your TPO. Or you can go get your TPO modified and then she can come back. But I'm not going to order her to go back to something that's going to cause her to be rearrested. And I don't think you want that either. So you need to get your
no, not at
TPO
all.
modified. Right, you need to get your TPO modified to allow her to stay there if that's what you're going to do. And then once it is, then she can stay there because the police obviously are looking for her to serve her with the TPO, which will say to stay away from the home. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to split it a little bit. I'm going to give her a signature bond, 2,500, and I'll order that her signature bond be through the jail. I would need more information on an MHET before I order that. I'm going to order her to stay away from the marital home until she gets an order that allows her to be there. And I'm going to order that she have no further contact with you, Mr. Messenbach, until the order has either been modified or something else would allow the two of you to be together. But right now, I think there needs to be the cooling down period, which I spoke of earlier, and that the two of you stay away from each other. You go ahead and move out so that the place is vacant. And then if you can get that order modified, then she can return to the home. But right now, she cannot go there. She's ordered to stay away. All right.
Your Honor, can
Okay.
she have a one-time law enforcement officer escort visit to retrieve her personal belonging and her emotional support dog?
Yes.
I mean, I think that would be in direct violation of the TPO. So I don't.
By giving her the one-time escort back to the property to get her
If
things.
she's been
Most of the
ordered
time
by
when they
security,
Judge,
Huh?
usually the TPO has the parameters for the one-time return.
It
anyway.
usually does. I don't even think she's been
Okay.
served with it yet because she's in jail. Has she
But
been
I
served
mean,
with the TPO?
I will say I don't know if it gives it a one-time parameter, but I do know whether you've been served with it or not, it still goes into effect. I learned that myself here recently, but I digress.
Okay. We'll allow the one-time police escort to retrieve her personal items and her service dog.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. That'll conclude this matter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
What was the bond amount?
2,500 SOB jail.
Thank you.
Okay.
We can go to position number 13, Miss Olivia Moss.
This is 24 CR 002934A, Olivia Moss, charge of 1 count of battery family violence, pretrial.
4, got an open battery DV out of Henry County. 2 count simple battery, and 1 count cruelty in the third. Was arrested this year in Clayton County for obstruction, 2 counts, 1 count disorderly conduct, and wanted out of Henry County.
All right. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputies were dispatched to a domestic disturbance at 2020 Lathrop Street Southeast. Upon arrival, the deputy spoke with the victim, Trinice Moss, who is the mother of the defendant. The victim stated that her and the defendant had gotten into an altercation regarding the defendant being in her room. The defendant hit the victim multiple times with a belt, causing swelling and marks on the victim's arm. Once in custody, the defendant stated that the victim had struck her as well, but the defendant had no visible injuries. Our office has had a chance to speak with the victim, who is the defendant's mother, who confirmed that they lived together at the incident location. The victim stated that the defendant does have a mental health condition and she's currently supposed to be taking medication but is not compliant. This is not the first time that this has happened, and the defendant has been having violent incidents recently. The victim stated that the defendant did call her and tell her that she will be leaving the residence once she is out of jail. The victim stated that she is okay with having contact with the defendant, but does not believe that it is safe for her to return to the residence due to there being other small children in the home. Given the defendant's history, the state is recommending a signature bond through pretrial services, no further contact with the victim, stay away from the incident location, and remain compliant with all medical recommendations, and also no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. At this time, I would like to sound for the victim, Ms. Trinice Moss.
All right.
I'm here.
Would you like to address the court today, Ms. Moss?
I really don't feel like I'm prepared to.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, you can just continue to listen in. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. PD Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is only 18 years old, Your Honor, and when I was speaking to Miss Trinice Moss, she was willing to co-sign if it helps her to get a signature on bond. I would like to request for a signature on bond through jail. We want her to finish and graduate from her high school. Actually, next week is her graduation ceremony, and she's finally graduating from high school. She's very excited about that. And she has another mentor slash former caseworker who is kind of working like a guardian for her. She has another place to go to. She prefers to have a no for the violent contact, but if she has to, she is okay with the stay away and no for the contact as well. I just want her to get a signature on bond to make sure that she's be able to get released. That's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
That she does have somewhere else to go stay.
That's what she told me, Your Honor.
But of course, we don't expect the mother, if she does need a cosigner, to cosign. I mean, she's 18, but she's not independent yet.
Correct. Yes, Your Honor. She does not have a job. She's still in high school. Yes.
I'm going to allow her to have a signature bond. I'm going to make it through the jail. I'm going to focus on making sure, I guess she knows by now that she's going to graduate. But I do want there to be the ample cooling off period between her and her mother.
Thank
And to
you.
make sure that we're not going to have any more incidences. 2,500 SOB jail. No further violent contact with her mother. And I don't know. I'm torn a little bit about the stay away. I guess there's a relative, a friend, somewhere where she can stay. This just happened yesterday.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the victim did say there were other small children in the home, which is part of the reason why she didn't feel like it was safe for the defendant to return back to the home.
All right, well, we'll order stay away from the family home for right now so that we can make sure there's going to be the cooling down and the defendant can get some help or whatever assistance she needs so that there can be positive interaction at her home. So for right now, no further, I think I said no further violent contact.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll still order that so that hopefully they can begin to heal. No further violent contact, but I am going to order the stay away until the order is modified or there's a request to modify it. So stay away, no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I guess that'll be it for now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, we go to position number 7, Mr. Andre Dodd.
This is 24 CR 002927E. Andre Dox, charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Pretrial.
25, 2022 PR, 2014 assault conviction, 07 harassment in person conviction, 2012 trespass conviction, 2011 disorderly conduct conviction. Jail.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. I have that this incident took place at the staff zone located at 1705 Dunlap Avenue, East Point. The defendant was asked to stay away from the property and had been given a warning not to return by an employee of the property. The defendant left and later returned, entering the building when police were leaving the premises. The state is recommending a signature bond through pretrial to stay away from the incident location, the staff zone, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
All right. PD.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 59 years old. He is a Georgia resident. He is homeless and has been for some time now. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. He told me that he does find daily work by joining labor pools first thing in the morning in the hopes of making enough money to be able to sleep in shelters where he pays to sleep each night. The incident location is one of those labor pool sites. If he was there, it would have been to find a job for the day. But Your Honor, he is recommended for a signature bond through the jail. And I would ask for that signature bond through the jail. He's fine staying away from there. He can find other labor pools to find work for the day. And having no further contact with that complaint, with the complaining witness, he cannot afford a bond, Your Honor, and reporting a pretrial is a burden for somebody who doesn't have a phone and is homeless. So I would like to ask for the recommendation of pretrial, a signature bond through the jail, no further contact, and stay away. Nothing further.
All right. I'm going to order a $1,500 signature bond through the jail. I'm going to order stay away from the staff zone in East Point. No further contact with any of the employees there. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. Anything else I need to take up, counsel?
Nothing further from defense.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Next, we go to position number 8, Mr. Frazier.
This is 24 CR 002931H. Nikevius Frazier, charged with 1 count of simple battery, pretrial.
10, on probation in the cab for reckless conduct trespass, pointing pistol at another, pointing or aiming pistol at another. 2021 probation, 2021 FTA, 2021 simple battery DV, criminal damage to property trespass.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Law enforcement responded to Cascade Heights condominiums located at 2367 Cascade Road, Atlanta, in reference to a dispute call. Upon arrival, the officers met with the victim, Miss Shanika Brown, who explained that she had gotten into a verbal altercation with her boyfriend, the defendant, and that verbal altercation turned physical. The two were arguing, and the defendant grabbed her by the neck and choked her. After letting her go, she managed to get to her phone and call 911 as she fled on foot out of the complex. Our office did get a chance to speak with the victim, who confirmed that they are in a relationship, they do not live together, and they do not share any children. The victim stated that the incident location is her residence, and she does not remember the details of the incident. The victim stated that they have been in contact with each other since the incident, and there has been no violence since. The victim did state that she is not in fear of the defendant and wants to continue contact. Given the nature of the allegations and the defendant's history, the state is recommending a signature bond through pretrial services, no further contact with the victim, Shanika Brown, stay away from the incident location, the Cascade Heights condominiums, 48-hour anger management, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol. At this time, I would sound for the victim, Ms. Shanika Brown, if she is on the Zoom.
I'm here.
All right. Ms. Brown, do you wish to address the court today?
Yes.
Raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, well, I kind of don't remember the incident, but I would like to say that he is a good person. It was just a bad day for the both of us, I guess. But I would like contact with him, being that he does help me with my daughter. He's been in her life since since she was 10 months.
Okay.
Could I ask the victim a question, Your Honor?
Yes.
Were you involved in the 2021 battery family violence incident?
No.
Okay. Were you involved in the 2021 incident where he pointed the pistol?
No.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to order a $2,500 signature bond through the jail. And as far as the stay away goes, where are we with that?
Your Honor, the complaining witness stated that she doesn't want the stay away and she does want contact with him.
Okay. I'll order no further violent contact, no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. I think that's all I need to do. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Next, we go to position number 10, Mr. Tyshawn Jones.
Okay, Tyshawn Jones, 24 CR 0002928F. One count of battery family violence pretrial.
This is fourth, 2023 Cosmetic Drugs Act conviction, 2016 criminal impersonation assault conviction. This is out of state.
Okay. State.
Your Honor. Law enforcement responded to the Evergreen Park residences at 513 Harbor Links Court in Fairborn in reference to a physical altercation. The victim, Ms. Shanika Downey, explained that the defendant, who has lived with her at the address for the past year, was driving her to work in his car. The two were arguing, and at the intersection of Highway 92 and White Mill Road in Fairborn, the defendant reached his arm out and struck her in the mouth. The victim sustained visible lacerations and swelling to her lip, as well as a scratch on her left cheek from the incident. The victim explained that the defendant had hit her several times in the past, but when she would dial 911, she would always hang up prior to the call actually connecting her to a 911 operator. The state is recommending a signature bond through pretrial services, no further contact with Shanika Downing, stay away from Evergreen Park residences located at 513 Harbor Links Court in Fairborn, family violence intervention program, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. At this time, I would like to sound for the victim, Shanika Downey.
Okay. All right, I see Shanika. Do you wish to testify before the court today?
Yes.
Raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Are you in, let me ask you rather, two questions. Are you in fear, Ms. Jones?
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Are you in fear of Ms. Jones?
No.
Do you think you can still live peaceably with Ms. Jones?
Yes.
All right. I don't have any other questions. Any cross-examination?
Nothing
No,
from
Your Honor.
Okay. Go ahead. Whose
Thank
case
you,
is
Your
this
Honor.
for the state?
Mine. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
My client is 27 years old. He is a Georgia resident. He does work as a personal trainer and an auto mechanic. As you heard, the complaining witness does want contact, so I would ask for no violent contact and object to a stay away. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. I understand that pretrial mentions some history, but any violent history is more than 8 years old. And he's only 27, Your Honor. He cannot afford a bond, so I would ask for a signature bond, and that can be through pretrial services with no violent contact, and I object to the FVIP.
Okay. I will order a $2,500 signature bond through the jail. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And you were saying no further contact with the victim?
Your Honor,
No further violent contact, I'm sorry.
yes,
No further violent contact and nothing with the stay away?
no, Your Honor, the complaining witness wants him to be able to
Okay.
be
We'll
there.
see what happens. Hopefully there will be the ample cooling down period, because I'm doing it before that. If I feel that the parties look like they are over this and ready to get back and heal and get back together. All right, if there's nothing else, counsel, any take up?
Nothing further from us, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we go to position number 3, Mr. Tremaine Burns.
Set 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is 24 CR 002937A. Tremaine Burns, charged with 1 count of battery. Pre-trial.
I think I counted about 30. 2015 probation, 2014 probation. This is level 1.
Okay.
Your Honor, this incident occurred October 25th, 2023. Officers responded to 1084 Hubbard Street in Atlanta in reference to a dispute. Upon arrival, the officers spoke with the defendant and the victim, whose name is Jose Maldonado. The defendant hired Mr. Maldonado to complete some work on one of his properties. According to the victim, the defendant did not provide the materials that he needed in order to complete the job. So in the middle of the job, he instructed his crew to leave. The defendant approached the victim. When he instructed his crew to leave, an argument ensued, and the defendant punched the victim in the face, caused him to fall to the ground and bruise his knee. The victim also suffered a bruise to his right cheek. Notably, Judge, the defendant told the police a completely different story. He said that the victim came at him and tried to punch him out of nowhere. However, the police quickly determined that that was not credible based on the other eyewitness accounts. Our office has been in touch with the victim. He did confirm he was doing a project for the defendant at his residence. He confirmed the events in the warrant. He stated he has not seen or spoken to the defendant since the incident and wishes for it to remain that way. The State is recommending at this time a signature bond through pretrial services, no further contact with the victim, 8 weeks anger management, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And if we could sound for Jose Maldonado.
We have the victim on the line. Say the name again.
Jose Maldonado.
Jose Maldonado. Nope. All right, PD Cook.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 43 years old. He's lived in the Atlanta area that entire time. He is a general contractor and works on many projects. He's still working on some projects at the Hubbard Street location, but he has not seen the alleged victim. Since the incident, very odd. The incident was October 25th, 1923, and a warrant wasn't signed until January 11th of this year. So I guess Mr. Maldonado took some time to think about it. My client disputes the accusations as stated in the warrant. Having said that, we certainly have no objection to a no further contact provision and no drugs, alcohol, and weapons. We would be seeking a signature bond through the jail, and we would object to anger management classes.
Your Honor, and just to clarify, the reason for the time lapse, the victim does not speak very good English. And so at the time of the incident, there was a language barrier of trying to figure out what happened. And eventually he came down to the police station and they had a translator take his formal statement at a later time.
Will be the only, year took a long time to get to this warrant, I guess. I will order a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. No further contact with the victim. And what type of location was this, to stay away?
There's no stay away, Judge. I believe it was a work site of some kind, but it's undecided. It's the defendant's.
Okay, so there's no further contact with the victim, no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
What's that amount again?
3,000.
Okay.
Next, we will go to position number 5, Mr. Jamal Clark.
All right, 24 CR 002939Y. Just saying, Jamal Clark, charge of 1 count of simple assault. Pretrial.
14. Got an open ag assault, 24 SC 001337. 2014 battery DV, cruelty to children conviction. 2014 probation, 2012 and 2009 FTAs. That's it.
Your Honor, this incident occurred on May 9th, 2024. Officers were dispatched to 4120 Fulton Industrial Boulevard in reference to a dispute involving a weapon. Upon arrival, officers met with the defendant, who was clearly very agitated and upset, and immediately removed the firearm from his person. They then spoke with the victim, Miss Hillary Ford, who stated that the defendant was trying to gain access to the location, but his key card was not working. Miss Ford asked him for his name and room number so she could try to help him figure out why his card wasn't working. And the defendant got extremely upset, started yelling, banging on the window, and grabbed his handgun in a threatening manner. The victim said she got really nervous from the defendant's behavior and she was concerned the defendant was going to harm her. I will note, as pretrial did, that he does have an open assault and possession of firearm during commission of in Fulton, where notably he was ordered in that bond case, judge from 2022, to not have any firearms. Judge Wolf ordered a $20,000 surety bond, and the facts are similar, except he pointed a gun at somebody. And so with his open felony and previous order to not have weapons, the state is, and him having a firearm and brandishing it to a stranger, the state's recommending a $10,000 surety bond, a no further contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, 12 weeks anger management, and no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. Our office has not been in touch with the victim. If we could sound for Miss Hillary Ford. Miss Ford, if you are on the Zoom and wish to speak, if you could turn on your camera and unmute yourself.
Hillary Ford? I don't think so. All right, PD Atai.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 44 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He is the father of 3 children, including 2 minor children, 11 and 8 years old. He does work at the Mannheim Auto Auction. He does firmly deny the allegations, specifically anything relating to a gun, and that he pulled it out. He did state that he couldn't get into the hotel where he is living, Your Honor. His bond right now is set at $5,000 surety bond. So, and Your Honor, in the 2022 case, he does firmly deny the allegations in that case. And he has not been convicted, Your Honor. He doesn't even have a hearing scheduled for that, and that's from 2022. So I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services. And if he can get a signature bond, Your Honor, I would not object to an anger awareness, even a 2-day anger awareness. He is worried about losing his job, Your Honor, if he's not able to get out. And the bond has been set at $5,000, and he can't even afford that.
Your Honor, a signature bond's inappropriate in this case. He was already had a surety bond and he's out on bond and he's still not following that bond order. So the state would vehemently object to a signature bond.
Your Honor, that open case is from 2022. He does deny the allegations in that case as well, and he's been looking forward to defending himself.
All right, I'm going to leave the bond at the $5,000 surety bond that is presently on the case. Stay away from the incident location, no further contact with the victim. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond again. That's it. Anything else, counsel?
Nothing further.
Nothing further.
Next, we have position number 24, Mr. King.
Position number what?
24.
Is there a position?
Oh,
24.
I have it 24.
No, I'm sorry. I just got the count. His name is King. Let me find
It's
it.
11.
Position 11.
I'm sorry,
Stop
guys.
trying to give us
Well,
more.
don't scare us, right?
I apologize.
It's Friday. It's okay. All right. 24 CR 002930C, Vernon King, charged with 2 counts of theft by taking, pretrial.
Second arrest. He should have went to court this morning for armed robbery, possession of tools. 2022 theft by receiving. I'm gonna go check on that bond. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Your Honor, this incident occurred May 3rd, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a call in regards to a positive match on a BOLO put out by Georgia Tech PD for an individual is wanted for an armed robbery. The individual in question, the defendant, was detained and identified. The officer confirmed the defendant had also been involved in 2 thefts on Georgia Tech's campus 6 days prior. The defendant was caught on camera stealing a bicycle, property of Armand Kalishi from the Scheller College of Business, located at 800 West Peachtree Street in Atlanta. Roughly 30 minutes later, the defendant was observed on camera ditching the bicycle at Fry and Fork, where he stole an electric scooter, property of Manish Minchali. and that was secured to a nearby stair rail. Additionally, upon lawful search incident to arrest, a hammer and flathead screwdriver were found inside the defendant's backpack. Your Honor, he does have an open felony as pretrial stated. He also has an arrest for theft by receiving. I can't see the disposition, but this is another theft case, so the state would be asking for a $1,000 surety on each count for $2,000 surety total. No further contact with Armand Kalishi, no further contact with Manish Manchali, a stay away from all Georgia Tech premises and property, a stay away from the fry and fork, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol. And if we could sound for Armand Kalishi and Manish Manchali.
Or either of those victims on the call? On the Zoom?
That felony
Right.
bond, 35,000.
35,000.
Correct.
All right. Whose case? PD Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is only 19 years old, and I spoke with his mother, Tameka King. I was hoping that she would join us today. However, I don't see anybody here yet. She was willing to be a co-signer. I really want, he has a huge, bigger fish to fry, Your Honor. $35,000. He has no way to pay for that. He is actually out of school right now, but he will be going back to school to complete his alternative school. He wants to be at the school instead of the jail. We pray for him to get a signature on bond through a pretrial, whichever level you seem to be appropriate. Your Honor, he's qualified for public defender services, and I guess his mother's here. No?
I am. How you doing?
All right, Ms. Jordan. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Are you finished, PD Kim?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Would you like to address the court today? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, raise your right hand for me. I'm going to swear you in. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, I do.
All right, put your hand down for me. And you're the mom of the defendant, correct?
Yes.
Is he still in high school?
No, he's not.
Okay. Did he
And
finish?
no, he he was taking his he got a GED, and he started work at a new job at UPS Monday.
Okay.
But he don't get in trouble, really. I don't know. Oh, Lord
Yes.
Jesus.
Well, I don't know what you know about getting in trouble. He's got
I
a huge
know.
felony bond. So it's either
I'm
all catching up with him now. So I don't know about not getting in trouble.
Yes, ma'am. I
He's off to a
understand.
bad start though. So he
Yes.
needs to, I'm sorry that I don't know if he'll get out by Monday to go to that job. That would be a good start for him, but I'm not going to be able to do anything and be in control of that because of the other bond. So
Um.
I'm.
So he got a bond on the other charge.
Yes, I didn't know if you heard that before you got on. It's a $35,000 bond on this felony.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to order $2,000 surety bond on this case, 1,000 on each.
Okay.
And I'm going to order to stay away from all Georgia Tech properties. Stay away
Okay.
from the is it the fry and the fork?
Yes, Judge.
No further contact with the victims in this case, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So how much is the total bond altogether?
Well, they don't necessarily add them together, but 35,000 on the felony and 2,000 on the misdemeanor.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good luck to you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Next, we have position number 9. Mr. Haley.
This is 24 CR 002932B. Dillian Haley Ryle, one count of possession of drug-related objects, criminal trespass, retrial.
Third arrest. He got an open burglary, 24 SC 000979. He has a current felony FTA and a 2024 possession of a Schedule 2 trespass, possession of drug-related objects. That's it.
All right, State.
Yes, Your Honor. The officer responded to the Exxon gas station located at 1105 Holcomb Bridge Road in Roswell in regards to a shoplifting incident. The officer was advised that the defendant had shoplifted from the location in the past, and a store employee confirmed the defendant's identity. The defendant had previously been issued a criminal trespass warning from the location. When the officer made contact with the defendant, he noticed the defendant had large baggy clothing on. The officer began to pat down the defendant for weapons and felt a hard object in the defendant's pocket. The defendant consented to the officer searching his pockets. The officer found a hard plastic tube in the defendant's pocket, as well as straws and a vial in the tube. White powdery residue was on the officer's gloves following the pat down and search. The defendant advised the officer that the substance was fentanyl, and the officer confirmed this after testing the substance, The straws also had fentanyl residue inside of them. The state is recommending a signature bond through pretrial services, stay away from the incident location, the Exxon gas station, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 26 years old, and Your Honor, he has been residentially challenged, and he also is not really feeling well right now. He needs to have continuous medical care. I would like to request for signature on bond through jail. He cannot go anywhere anyway because of the failure to appear for his felony charge. So he will be in the jail anyway. So I would like to request for that. And stay away and no further contact. We have no objection for those. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to order a $2,000 signature bond, which will be $1,500 on the first charge and $500 on the second. So total $2,000 signature bond through the jail. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. Stay away and no further contact with the victim.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Next, we have the add-on, Mr. Barrett.
All right. Ms. Champion, can you read that for me? I don't have that.
Okay, Your Honor, 1 second.
Okay.
And Judge, I have not, this is Rose Woodbury from the Public Defender's Office. I have not spoken to Mr. Barrett. I don't know if Attorney Cook.
Yes, Ms. Woodbury, yes, I spoke to him earlier today. Somehow he fell on to the add-on calendar later, but I talked to him this morning.
Thank you.
We're good. Thank you.
Good. Thank you.
Position number 1, add-on Comor Barrett, case number 24 CR 002956J, charged with battery, family violence, first offense.
5th arrest, 2021 battery, 2015 forgery, first degree. Level 1.
Judge, this incident occurred May 8th, 2024. Officers responded to a domestic dispute call at 2086 Pinecone Drive Southwest in Atlanta. Upon arrival, officers spoke with the victim, Damali Johnson, who advised that she and her boyfriend got into an argument when her boyfriend struck her in the face. The officer noticed a laceration on the victim's upper lip. We have been in touch with the victim. She said that she and the defendant are no longer in a relationship. They do live together at the incident location. They share two children. She confirmed the events in the warrant. She stated that she is not in fear of the defendant and is okay with having contact with him, but she would like for him to stay away from the residence. The state is recommending, in this case, a signature bond through pretrial services, a no further violent contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, FVIP, and no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And if we could sound for Miss Damali Johnson.
Okay.
Yes, I am here.
All right. Would you like to address the court today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm going to swear you in first. Can you raise your right hand? Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Are you in fear of the defendant?
No, Your Honor. We do have two young children together and we do live in the same residence, but I would not like him to actually live here in the residence because he has not been paying like he needs to be paid in the bills. But I do want him to be able to see our children. They are being evaluated for autism, and I would like his support on that.
Okay. Well, how old are the children?
We have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, or soon to be 2-year-old, I should say.
All right, I understand, but they're very small. I don't like what I've heard about the facts of the case. I don't usually say stay away from the mom, but you can see the children because that's problematic. Want to make sure everybody's going to be safe at this time. This just happened on the 8th. So I want to make sure there's been the proper cooling down. I think there needs to be that separation.
Your Honor, may I inquire just briefly of the witness?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Can't see you, Mr. Cook.
Oh, gee, well, that may be to your benefit, but okay, right.
Oh,
Here I
stop
am.
it.
Oldest guy on the panel. Ms. Johnson, what is 2880 Concord Court, East Point? Is that the marital? Is that the residence?
No, I don't know what address that is.
Okay, okay. I don't guess I do either then. Okay, that's fine. Beyond that, I didn't know if Your Honor was about to rule. We would have no problem with the signature only bond. She's not afraid of him, but I don't know how that jibes with keeping them out of the house. I've not heard that one before. So we would ask, but he be allowed to go back to the residence and see his kids.
You all are not married, is that correct, Ms. Johnson?
Yes, Your Honor, we're not married.
Okay. And the kids have not been legitimated?
No, Your Honor, they have not.
Okay. So I'm not going to order any visitation since they haven't been legitimated or the parties have not been married. So he'll have to go to court if he wants to get visitation. Just want to make sure that they're going to be safe and because they are very small, they're 4 and almost 2. So I will grant the signature bond, but I'm going to order him to stay away from the residence right now while he's on bond. So they can maybe get some help and figure out where we're going from here, make sure everybody's going to be safe. And what was the charge again? Was it just 1 or 2?
Just 1.
Okay. Family, was it simple battery family violence?
It's a battery family violence.
Battery family violence. And I was just looking in my email. I haven't received the add-on calendar. But I will order a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. And I'm going to order no further contact with the victims and a stay away from the residents and no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And if you all need to apply for a modification later, you can do that. All right.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, you want the stay away from what address again? What's the address of the stay away?
Ms. Johnson will need to tell us.
The address is 2086 Pinecone Drive, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia, 30331.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And Your Honor, so that means that we can't meet at a certain location so that he can see the children. That's what that means. No contact at all.
Right now, no contact at all. I sometimes will do a third party, but I just believe the children are too small at this point. And I want to make sure there's been enough cooling down. Just been a couple of days. He can talk to his attorney later so that the attorney can apply for a modification maybe before the next couple of court dates. I think Mr. Cook, your client, wants to say something possibly. Has a question.
Okay. I won't object for a moment.
Okay. Let's see what it is.
Yes.
He's muted, courtroom 2.
I was just saying we went to the courts, say down there, something to do with whatever.
I can't really understand what you're saying. It's a little
Then
muffled.
we went to the courts and had papers signed for engagement and everything.
You had papers signed for an engagement?
Yeah, to get married, so.
Oh, you went and applied for a marriage license.
Yes.
But
Okay.
we didn't finalize it, but yes,
But the ceremony has not happened.
yes,
Okay.
That's
Well, once
correct.
the ceremony happens, that'll be a different story.
yes.
Right.
Okay. All right.
One more thing,
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't try to hit her. I just went grabbing something from her and she got hit, so. I just want
This is not your trial, so you should be quiet now. Think you should
Yes.
stop talking. This is not your trial yet.
Yeah, you're right, thank you.
All right. All right, next case.
I guess we have position number 14, to waive the case, Mr. Williams, he waived.
Okay. Is that the last one or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's do the waiver case. This is 24 CR 002933 G. Alcino Williams, 1 count of theft by shoplifting, 2nd count of criminal attempt to commit a misdemeanor. Pre-trial.
51. On probation for ID theft fraud out of Cherokee. Got an open theft by receiving, fleeing, obstruction, giving false names, suspended license. 22 SC 184033. 2022 probation, 2021, 2020 probation. Yeah. Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant is accused of taking a handful of clothing from the City Trends located at Martin Luther King and walking out the front door of the establishment without paying for the items. The state is recommending a signature bond through pretrial services, stay away from the incident location at City Trends located at Martin Luther King in Atlanta, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Right.
Your Honor, actually, we when we got pretrial service, he did not have any criminal history, and he was recommended for UJR. So
That was
I feel like-
incorrect. It was incorrect. Yeah.
Okay, I was hoping that was correct, and what you said was not. But anyway, he is 50 years old, and he's physically very sick right now. He was loaned out to Grady, and he just got back from the Grady. He's residentially challenged. I would like to request for signature on bond through jail, Your Honor. That's all. Thank you.
All right. I think I will order a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. That will be 1,500 on each. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. No further contact with the victims. And is there a stay away?
Yes, to stay away from the city trends.
Okay. All right. And stay away from the city trends. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. That it?
Yes.
All right. Ready for reconciliation?
Your Honor, we do have an add-on calendar with 4 remaining defendants.
What?
Yeah, they stuck us.
Let's hurry up. I don't have it. I looked before.
You
Did
guys,
they not?
Ian sent it to you.
I sent it to you, Your Honor.
Yes, it just came out.
May we
I'm gonna
please
pretend I
recuse?
don't have it in.
Judge, I have been informed by Officer Norris that 2 of the defendants needed Spanish interpreters,
That
And
won't
one of them
happen.
needs a conflict, so
and one of
Oh,
them needs a conflict.
all right. So that's 3 out.
Well, that's
I,
just the 2.
I
Are
could
we?
check to see if it's
Oh,
gonna be a Riverside issue, because as you know, Your Honor, we don't do Saturday calendars as of right now. So as of recently, we've been doing 2 calendars on Friday. So this is the second calendar as
I,
opposed to that.
I don't think we found a conflict attorney this week, did we? They were all doing it per se.
I,
It's not good.
Trying to read.
I'm,
Yes,
I'll
Miss
check to see if we
McLeod is
can.
on vacation for the week. I'm sorry, Miss McLeod is
she's
on
on
vacation.
vacation.
Well, let me
All
just
right,
check to see
Mr.
if it's gonna be a
Walker.
Riverside issue, and I can report back to see if we can avert any of
Right.
it.
See if we can do some
Okay.
consent bonds, or I'll let him out.
But may we please be excused?
Yes.
We're going to get it
Happy
on Monday.
Friday.
We're going to get it hit on Monday, Miss Kim. So you need your rest this weekend.
Wait, I'm sorry, Judge. I think we still have 2 positions that we need to have hearings for on the add-on calendar. Am I correct? Richard Moore and Edward Turner?
I don't
That's
know.
correct.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm looking at them now. All right. Are they in the courtroom?
Yes, we have all 4 people in the courtroom.
Okay, so which 2? With the one with the conflict, I guess Mr. Walker's looking at that one. Which one is with the conflict?
The conflict is going to be Juan Maldonado, and then both him and Rodrigo Fernandez, both of them need Spanish interpreters. They are cross defendants.
Okay, so
So I'm ready on all the cases, but I am ready for Mr. Moore or Mr. Turn, and I am at the same time checking see for Riverside issues, but I am ready for whatever you call.
okay. I mean, the jail can call it.
All right, we'll do position number 4, Mr. Moore.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait a second, we gotta take his time to get up there.
Judge, you got your calendar?
I see it now.
Okay. I'm pulling the history now. Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Mr. Walker, don't I sound excited?
I'll be as brief as possible, I promise.
Good. We're ready?
Yes.
I'm not sure if they've heard their rights. I don't know how long they've been there, Your Honor. So I don't know if we need to start at the beginning with their rights.
All right, this proceeding is being recorded and live streamed on YouTube. So govern yourselves accordingly. And also, these cases have been bound over to the Fulton County State Court. And these are misdemeanor arrests. And the solicitor's office has already accused the cases of the offenses brought against you. So we are able to address your bond matter today. Also, I want to advise you that you do have certain constitutional rights. The first being that you have a right to counsel, and you should know who your counsel is by now, your attorney. You also have a right to remain silent. Remember that anything that you state about the facts, the circumstances, or the occurrences of your case can and will be held against you at a later date. All right. First case we have is position 4.
Yes, Mr. Richard Moore, and he's charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. This occurred yesterday on Georgia Tech's campus. I believe it was at the Georgia Tech Hotel and Conference Center located at 770 Spring Street. The defendant was located at the dumpster behind this location. The warrant states that he has a 5-year ban from Georgia Tech campus. I'm not sure what Mr. Moore did to achieve that honor, but he does have an active 5-year ban from Georgia Tech's campus. I don't know if Mr. Howard has a history. I see that he has about 18 cycles. I see that he has a conviction in 1999 that was a CWAC charge, but he did serve 17 years on that charge alone, and he wasn't released, I believe, until 2016. And then shortly thereafter, he was trespassed from Georgia Tech's campus for 5 years. The state is asking for a $500 surety bond, of course, to stay away as he has an active trespass, no weapon, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Okay. PD Rosenberry?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr.
Woodbury.
Morris, he's 57 years old. He tells me he lives with his sister in Stone Mountain. He has 3 other siblings in the state and 2 grown children. He is disabled, Your Honor. So he's not able to work. He's not able to afford a bond. The allegations here don't allege him doing anything violent or destructive, so we would ask for a signature bond through the jail today.
Okay. All right, I will give a $1,500 signature bond through the jail on that criminal trespass. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. Stay away from Georgia Tech, period, all Georgia Tech. And no further contact with the victims. Anything else?
Nothing from the state.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay.
You good? Huh? Huh? Yeah. You good, you good. Come on. Next we have position number 5, Mr. Turner. Come on. Come on over there.
All right, 24 CR 002960Y. Charge of 1 count of criminal trespass. Ian or the pretrial, whichever has the history.
The most recent thing that I saw, I'm not sure what Mr. Howard has, but I saw that he has a FTA out of Fulton County on July 11th of 2023. That's what stuck out most to me. But in this case, on March 10th of this year, the defendant was captured on camera, and there also were employees on site at the Dunkin' Donut. From my understanding, based upon the warrant, he used to be employed at the Dunkin' Donuts back in 2023. He was terminated, and he was instructed that he was now allowed back on the premises. for whatever reason, on this day in March of this year, he returned around 11:30 p.m. He came through the drive-through window. The employees on site told him that he was not allowed on the premises, and he came through the drive-through window. I believe police were called the next morning. This warrant was taken out. The state is asking for a $500 surety bond. Of course, a stay away from the Dunkin' Donuts. I don't think I said that address, but it is 7804 Sonoa Road in Fairburn, Georgia. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Okay. PD?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Turner, he's 43. He's been in Georgia for the last 4 years. He is residentially challenged right now. He's looking for a job, but he does tell me he's living in a tent. He does not have much means, so we would be asking for a signature bond. We have no objection to the stay away, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's order a $1,500 signature bond through the jail. Stay away. And no further contact with the victims, no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. Next.
Next, we have these are the two that need, I guess, interpreters. And I guess they are a conflict.
Right. I don't believe we're getting an interpreter day, are we, April? Miss Champion.
We will not have a conflict. Let me check with Mr. Jordan about the interpreter. It might be too late for the interpreter, but let me check.
Okay. You have any thoughts, Mr. Walker? Or have you left me?
I'm here, Your Honor. If I could just have one brief second, I can just continue to look at Odyssey. If I could just have 15 seconds, please.
Okay.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
No worries.
Okay, so I understand that we don't have an interpreter for either or a conflict attorney. I'm willing to do a signature bond, but through pretrial services, I'm not sure how defense feels about that. But essentially, I would just be asking for a stay away and no conflict. And specifically, I'm asking for a pretrial services bond because one of them, in checking his history, I believe that he's not a local citizen nor a U.S. resident, and he has a previous charge that speaks to that. So there is some concern about him returning to court.
Mhm.
So I would be willing to do a signature bond through pretrial services on both and a stay away and a no contact.
So if he's not a local citizen or resident, why you want to stress pretrial out about?
Because we need to have some type of assurance that he's keeping up with the court and he's going to
But
keep up
how?
with the court date.
But if he don't,
So
if
when
we
I
got them
said he's
issues,
more so, I don't think he's a citizen. I probably misspoke. He probably is a resident, so to speak, but I don't think he's a citizen, and he has a charge that speaks to that.
yeah, I saw it.
If you can read in between the lines. So
Yeah, I saw the
we just
charge.
want some type of assurance that he's keeping up with his court dates and he won't be a flight risk. I'll leave it at that.
Right. And
PD,
Art,
what-
is pretrial capable of, how are you all?
Per
No.
judge.
No, hold on. Do they speak English at all? I mean, did anybody ask him?
Well, I haven't talked to them.
I know you haven't. I know you.
I asked them in Spanish,
And
and they both said no.
¿Tú hablas inglés poquito? Poquito?
not even.
No, they said not even a little.
Like it's 4 o'clock. Judge, it's on
Boy,
you.
we didn't know you spoke Spanish. I'm impressed.
He don't know that much.
I'll just go.
I know more than you.
The stay is prepared to go forward. I understand come Monday at 2 p.m. will be beyond 72 hours, but I'm of the position I'm here as long as I need to be. If it's another 15 minutes before we get a Spanish interpreter, I'll wait. Of course, I'll defer to the court, but I just don't want it to be said on Monday. The state wasn't prepared and it's a Riverside issue and people's rights have been violated. So I just want to go on the record and be very clear. If I have to wait here to 4:30 or 5 o'clock for us to find an interpreter, the state is ready, willing, and able to do just that. Now, if other parties don't want to do that, let the record reflect that. But I don't want it to be said come Monday that this is Riverside because we were
Right.
all ready to go home. And
Right.
I'll be quiet.
Judge look like he already at home. But it's up to you, Judge. I mean,
Well, Miss
I don't-
Champion, do we have a ETA? Do we even have an interpreter available? If not, I'm inclined to go ahead and give them the signature bonds, but I understand pretrial's position
'Cause-
on that as well.
what? Yeah, because they got a report for orientation, and I don't know who
We've
gonna tell them.
had other people who are non-speaking that
I
were
thought
in
you all
the
had
cell.
someone, yeah.
Oh, she left. Her last day was the other day. But
Oh,
we have
no.
it's somebody else down there though.
It is?
Yeah, but
Well,
we did have one that just left for real.
I have.
So if
I have a
I do
question.
that, Miss Woodbury, I would have them through pretrial, just so that we can keep up with them. Do you have any objections to that?
I want to hear what Attorney Cook, his question.
Yes, I would, Ms. Woodbury, I understand you haven't been able to communicate with them at all. Is that correct?
Correct.
Well, they can't, I mean, they have to approve of the offer before it's.
Well, they're getting
they
out.
take
I
it.
don't know how they would not approve of getting out.
Well, what was Officer Norris saying? Was he saying?
They know that they don't know any English. Well,
Okay.
somehow I bet if he tells them they're going home or I remember slightly the word for
Yeah.
that, but they would understand that.
Well, I would
But
leave it up.
I don't want to keep them in under Riverside.
No,
Be
no.
honest with you.
No, I understand that, and that would be brought up Monday because I'll be working Monday. So that
Mhm.
would be
I
brought
know,
up
right?
Monday.
Mhm.
So, I just don't, I don't know how they
I
can.
have a feeling, and most of the time they do, but when it comes to court proceedings, they obviously are nervous about that and not wanting to
No,
say that they even know a little bit of English.
No, I understand. I'm of the same
Hold on, let me put
suspicion,
this
but I,
on the record. I'm
Huh?
not a licensed interpreter. So I
Right.
don't be held liable.
Right.
See,
Of
we
your
don't need-
interpretations of
If
what's
we-
the word for go home or something?
Tu casa.
Okay. Look at them and say that and see what their reaction is. I bet they'll understand that.
Sí, no tenerlo tu casa.
Sí.
Yeah.
Okay.
You sign your.
How much is the money for the pretrial?
It
Well,
wouldn't
I
even
haven't come
matter.
up with a number yet, but we're trying to
won't go
figure that
nowhere.
out. So, Mr. Cook, are you saying that You don't even want them to get a signature bond to have to report to
No,
pretrial,
I
because you don't know if
certainly
they'll,
wouldn't,
if
I
they'll
certainly wouldn't.
understand that. Will they not
I-
understand to report to pretrial?
Oh, I don't know how they can, I don't know how they can, concede fully and intelligently to the bond, but I would leave that to the court to make that judgment. I just wanted to put that on the record.
Yeah.
And again, the pretrial was just an alternative. If that's not acceptable by the defense, I'm willing to wait for an interpreter to arrive.
We have not been able to get an interpreter to answer the request, so at this time, so.
So they're not waiting to arrive till 8 p.m. I won't be here.
I
till-
just said this. I know they are, but I just want to make clear the state is. So
Well, I
come
don't,
Monday,
and
it won't be
I
said
mean,
the state.
well,
It's all being recorded, so they hear you.
Ms. Woodbury's clients, I just want to make sure we understood that if they can't intelligently understand the bond, then there's a problem there. On the other hand, if they're going home, I wouldn't, again, it's they're Ms. Woodbury's clients. If they're going home, I wouldn't make a squawk about it, but I'll leave that up to Ms. Woodbury.
They do understand signature bond. They
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
they understand that much.
all right.
Well,
do you know if
But
the
we just don't
instructions
have
they
a way
receive?
to explain pretrial to them.
Yeah, I was just asking if the instruction that they receive about the reporting to pretrial services, is it in Spanish as well, or is it
No.
just?
You
And
don't
see,
have the
normally,
Spanish version?
no, look, don't put it on me. But normally when the judge tells them with the interpreter about how many times they got to report, it's translated to them, so they already know. But since they, we ain't got no interpreter here, they can't,
But the
And
judge doesn't tell them the address and what time they have to report. Well, how did they learn that information?
All right.
They meet with a pretrial services officer.
It's
before
on
they
their
leave?
sheet.
And that's
it's
only
in
in English?
Spanish
It's in English.
Only
and
in
Spanish. Yeah, you should have both.
Look, y'all, I'm not over pretrial services now. Don't beat me up. It's only in English.
Well, it should be in Spanish. We'll talk about that.
Listen,
I'm pretty sure somebody has a cell phone.
That's above my pay
Oh,
grade,
they
Judge.
use that English to
Yeah,
Spanish.
exactly.
I mean, we have someone that works in pretrial services supervision that speaks Spanish,
Right.
but it's the judge usually just tells them, hey, you getting a pretrial bond, you gotta report such and such, and that's usually translated to them. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, I have concerns about that, Ms. Woodbury, Mr. Cook, that will not be translated to them. You know,
Because
what I'm
I don't
saying?
know how strong Officer Nora's Spanish is. So can he translate that?
Does anyone have any objection, Mr. Walker, if I don't put them on pretrial?
Well,
It'll
I
be
have
up to their
objections because
attorneys
these aren't cross defendants where they were fighting each other. They are co-defendants, as in the fact that they jointly attacked the innocent victim outside of a Mexican restaurant. So if they were cross defendants and it was dual combat, yeah, but it's not that situation. They jointly attacked an innocent victim that was.
I have put on the closed caption and I put it in Spanish, so whatever you say, you'll be able to read it.
Oh, that is good.
Yes.
So can I now have them report to pretrial? And what are they, level 1, Mr.
Well, you
Howard?
gotta start over, Judge. You gonna start over?
Start all over. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay. So who do we have first?
Maldonado.
Maldonado. Let's see. Hold on.
And you gonna get the histories?
Only one of them had history, and it was
Maldonado.
Ice. I believe it was Fernandez, but the recommendation is the same.
Okay. So Juan Maldonado charged at 1 count of battery, 2nd count of simple battery.
In this
And
case, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I'm inclined to give him a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services, where you have to report into to the company or the facility, for lack of a better word, so that you will keep up with your court date and return to court.
What level is this?
Should it be 2 or 1?
It's up to you. If it's
Let's just-
1, then tell him he got to report once a month.
All right, level 1, and then you have to report once a month by which manner?
They'll let him know at orientation. Let him know that.
Okay, and then you will have orientation. When will they get the date for that? Or they'll call them?
They'll get that before they get released from jail.
Oh, so before you are released, you will get your orientation date to report to pretrial services, and you'll get the address, and you must show up there, else there will be a order sent
Control.
out for your arrest if you don't show up.
No. The caption is not really,
Not doing good.
yeah, it's not doing good at all. Cause he just told me he doesn't understand it.
Hmm. All right, any other suggestions?
Your Honor, my neighbor is Dominican. I can see if she's home.
Okay.
Oh, what? Hold on.
Miss Champion, what time was the interpreter requested, and have we checked in on the last request made?
Wasn't requested till late.
The
Right.
interpreter was requested at the time of Miss Woodbury announcing it in court.
Okay, so it's only been a few minutes. Have we checked back in, or?
I can have Ms. Strong check in again to see if someone's answered.
Okay.
Pretty please. Thank you.
1 second.
All right.
I think pretrial's checking as well.
Well, what is this? I was calling my coworker, see if she was still downstairs.
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw her earlier.
Okay.
I just texted her.
Okay.
She might be gone. So in the meantime, would you like to go over the calendar?
We could do that. But Miss Champion is on the phone. She's talking to.
Oh.
No, Ms. Strong is taking care of that.
Okay.
Because we're on the main calendar. Position number 1 is a $2,500 sign-on bond through the jail reset for the notice. Position number 2 is a $2,500 sign-on bond through the jail reset for the notice. Position number 3 is a $3,000 sign-on bond through the jail reset for the notice. Position number 4 is a $2,500 pretrial bond reset for the notice, level 1. Position number 5 is a $5,000 good bond. It's going to be reset to the SAP 523. Position number 6 is a total of a $3,000 sign-on bond through the jail reset for the notice. Position number 7 is a $2,500 sign-on bond through the jail reset for the notice. Position number 8 is a $2,500 sign-on bond through the jail reset for the notice. Position number 9 is a total of $2,000 sign-on bond through the jail. This case will be reset to the SAP 523. The defendant is being held on felony charges. Position number 10 is a $2,500 sign-on bond through the jail reset for the notice. Position number 11 is a total of a $2,000 good bond reset, SAP 523. Position number 12 is a $2,500 sign-on bond through the jail reset for the notice. Position number 13 is a $2,500 sign-on bond through the jail reset for the notice. Position number 14 is a total of a $3,000 sign-on bond through the jail reset for the notice. Add-on 1 is a $3,000 sign-on bond through the jail reset for the notice. Position 2 and 3 we're holding on. Position number 4 add-on is a $1,500 sign-on bond through the jail reset for the notice. Position number 5 add-on is a $1,500 sign-on bond through the jail reset for the notice. Any questions?
No.
Ain't nobody answering today, y'all. It's Friday.
Friday of Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day to you all.
Thank you.
Yes, happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And who in our office talks to the Spanish victims? Because we had someone on our calendar today that only spoke Spanish.
I'll text you. I have to think about it, but just give me 2 seconds and I'll text you.
I'll be right back.
Okay, let's see what we can do.
Yes.
Are we talking?
No.
Oh.
Muted that shit. I don't know.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I think we found a translator. He's gonna log on shortly. He's logging on.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna send it to you. Okay, I'm gonna send it to your email. Okay, that works. Thanks, Fredo. I appreciate it. Yeah, you got it. Thanks for calling. All right, no problem.
I think we may have 2 interpreters coming, but 2's better than none.
Too much work. All right, y'all. I'm about to send her the link right now.
Okay.
She the supervisor and supervision. Kayla, damn, Casey. Her name Keone Flores.
Okay.
You got one, Howard? Because I got one too about to log on.
Trejo was logging in.
Yeah, I just called him.
Man, I done ran all the way downstairs.
You got some exercise. There's Trejo, Your Honor.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Oh, hello. How are you?
Doing very well. Good to see you.
You too. All
Officer
right.
Norris called me and asked that I pass some information along to these gentlemen that they are Spanish only.
Yes. Yes, and he's going to put that in your paycheck from his. Just send it to the jail. Okay.
Got it, Judge.
But I
Yes, ma'am.
appreciate you. All right.
Absolutely.
So the first case we have, call it for me, Ian. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. Who do we have in front of us?
This is Mr. Maldonado.
Okay.
So Mr. Maldonado, he is case number 24 CR 002958Y. He's charged with 1 count of battery and 1 count of simple battery.
What was the name one more time?
It is, sorry, I'm going back and forth between pages. I believe it's Juan Maldonado.
Señor Maldonado, usted está aquí en esta audiencia de corte en su caso 24CR002958Y y usted tiene dos cargos, un cargo de agresión física y un cargo de agresión física simple.
In this case, the victim, whose name is Juan Luano, that's spelled Lujano,
En
reported
este caso, la víctima, un señor que se llama Juan Lujano,
to officers that he was in front of the La Paranda Mexican bar.
le dijo a oficiales de la policía que él estaba parado afuera de un bar que se llama La Parranda,
Located at 1085 Holcomb Bridge Road.
en el 108 Holcomb Bridge Road.
As he was leaving the establishment, he was attacked by 2 unknown males, one of them being this defendant.
Y que cuando él iba saliendo de ese bar, de ese lugar, que él fue atacado por 2 hombres que no conocía, uno siendo Juan Maldonado.
The one defendant put him in the headlock and the other one punched him in his ribs.
Que uno de los acusados lo agarró por el cuello y el otro le golpeó en las costillas.
The state is asking for a signature bond through pretrial services.
Y el Estado le está pidiendo una fianza bajo firma de parte de los servicios antes de ir a corte.
No contact with the victim, Juan Luano.
No tener contacto ninguno con la víctima, Juan Lujano.
A stay away from 1085 Holcomb Bridge Road.
Alejarse de 108 Holcomb Bridge Road.
No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
No portar armas, ni beber, ni usar droga mientras que está bajo fianza.
And upon release, to report once a month to pretrial services.
Y en cuando usted salga de la cárcel, que usted se tiene que entregar y tiene que hacer reporte una vez al mes con los servicios antes de corte.
Nothing further from the state.
Nada más del Estado.
Miss Woodbury?
All right, go ahead. Is it Miss Woodbury or Mr. Cook?
We're tag teaming. We're double teaming.
Tag teaming. Gotcha. Go ahead. Go. Whoever's going to speak. Go ahead.
Well, Judge, we haven't talked to them privately yet. So
I forgot you did
also,
say that. Yes.
there's a conflict here. We can ask them if they'll waive the conflict. But I mean, we're in agreement. I mean, I guess we do probably need to talk to them privately. So if I could have a breakout with including PD Cook and PD Trejo.
Yes, at
be
least
great.
to ask him about that. I am so sorry. I totally forgot that too. So Miss Champion, can you put them in a breakout real quick so she can at least go, then they can switch people and do the breakout to at least talk to them about the pretrial condition on their bond.
Your Honor, they're in the breakout room now.
Great. Thank you so much.
Mhm. Your Honor, I'm about to
Yes.
send over the orders that I
Yeah,
have
go ahead and
already
do
done.
those. Right. Thank you. And I'll sit here and do those while we're waiting.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Judge Vince, you there?
Hold on 1 second. I'll be right there.
Javier? Okay.
Yes.
We would probably need at least a good address or phone number to notify them for future court dates, right?
I mean, you all do.
I mean, I would say yes, but are you asking me?
I was asking. No, no. I was asking Javier.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I thought you
Oh,
said my name.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Trejo.
Yeah,
I'm
they
sorry.
sound so close. I know.
I'm sorry. I digress.
I got you. I got you.
Hey, Cook, they said they have a phone number.
Okay, well, we'll need to, you know.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
Do we want to do that now, or do we want to talk to them about their bonds first?
Whatever you want to do. You're kind of.
I thought y'all already talked to them about it.
We did.
No?
We did,
Wait.
Judge.
Oh.
So I guess I'll start. So Judge, I just
Mhm.
want to put on the record, Mr. Trejo is not a court certified interpreter. He is an attorney with the Public Defender's Office. Does the solicitor's office consent to allowing Mr. Trejo to translate for purposes of today?
Very, very much so. Yes.
Thank you.
And are you all waiving the fact that I'm not swearing him in, or do you want me to swear him in?
He's an officer of the court, and
Yes.
I'm sure I've heard more absurd things. Not that he said anything absurd, but he's an
Right.
officer of the court. So yes,
And we
do
we
waive.
trust him, and he is.
Yes, we
Okay,
trust
very
him.
good.
The next thing is Mr. Trejo is fluent in Spanish. We explained that there's a conflict to the defendants. The defendants will waive the conflict for purposes of today only. And they want to go, we want to treat this kind of as a consent bond situation. So they'll go forward with accepting the signature bonds through pretrial.
Okay. How's that sound, Mr. Walker?
That sounds fabulous to me. I could put the victim's name and the stay away address in the chat one more time. I did it earlier. I don't think
Okay.
Mr. Trejo was here, but I will put it in the chat one more time for everyone.
Okay.
Right, because if he just signed on, he won't be able to
Yeah.
see it, I don't think.
So
Right.
that no weapon, drugs, and alcohol, which are standard conditions, are pretty much what the state is requesting.
Correct.
And this is level one?
That's
Yes.
my
All right, so did y'all tell them they had to report once a month of pretrial?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, it's per judge too, both of them.
Yes, per judge, yes.
Judge, what's your bond amount?
2,500.
25.
Because the first one for the first defendant, Maldavo, I believe, he just had the one charge, correct? And
No,
then
they
the
got the
other had
same.
two. Oh, they both had
They
the
both
same. I
have
know
two
one had two.
charges.
So they both had two. So make it 3,000, 1,500 each.
Okay.
They had battery and
simple battery.
simple battery. Okay. 1,500 each.
No, 1,500 each charge.
So is the state going to present like we normally do for bond? We already explained everything to them in the breakout room, but if we need to put everything on the record, what is everybody thinking?
Oh, well, I
Consent
thought I
bond.
already presented, but I could present again.
No, you're not. It's a consent bond.
Okay.
Well, you used up all of your Friday time. No, I'm kidding. But they have presented. That was on the record.
Okay.
So we done?
Do we have anything else that we need to take up with these defendants?
Nothing from the state.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Woodbury and Mr. Trejo. It's called the team making the dream work, okay, on a Friday.
That's right, Judge. Happy to
I
help.
do. I appreciate everybody jumping in. And I think we should thank pretrial. He ran downstairs and found another person and ran back upstairs. So he's had a workout today.
Thank you, Mr. Howard, and thank you, Deputy. Is that Deputy Norris or?
Yeah.
Yes, and
Thank
Deputy
you, Deputy
Norris. Yes.
You guys are the best.
Yes. Oh, I'm getting a kind of an interesting look, but he may be on the phone, so we won't talk about Mr. Howard in
I'm
his
listening.
absence. Oh, you're listening. I thought, well, since you did not respond and I saw that little smirk, I
No,
thought you
I'm
were
doing
talking
my
about.
stats. I'm sorry.
Okay, he's working. He's working. All right, everybody, have a good weekend.
Thank you, Judge. You do the same.
All right, thanks.